My Love of Life Energy is a podcast created by Anna Scott. Anna knows that every human being sees life uniquely. In this podcast, she will talk to people and learn from them. These conversations are to shine the brilliance of each human being she speaks to. Join her. After each exploration, you will expand on your insights and see truth and beauty. Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to my podcast, My Love of Life Energy. And today I am having on my show Molly Lynch, and Molly is no longer a guest. She is my partner in crime and my co-creator of Exquisite Being. And we're here today to talk to you a little bit about Exquisite Being, what it is, why we create it, and we'll see what we share. Molly, it's so thrilled to have you here today.
Thanks, Anna. I'm so happy to be here. It's a great morning.
Oh, it's so beautiful out.
Yeah, here we are. The bees are buzzing.
I know. So Molly and I started, God, when did we start this?
The whole process, like the whole creation, like
Yeah, when
20
did this whole,
lifetimes ago.
yeah.
I think about a year ago. That's kind of how I mark it. We started in on our discovery and what were we creating together? There was something to create, and what was it? Through the gene keys, right? That was our first step.
And then we wanted to do a class together, and we had done one class, and you really had this vision that you wanted you and I to have our own launch pad. What was that for you?
Well, I just felt that when we did our day-long workshop out here in Bodega Bay, it was, I just felt that cohesive, collaborative ease of creating with you and guiding or facilitating the circle. And I just wanted more. It's like, oh, because I love collaboration. I'd love to be in creation with another. Um, so I just wanted to see what else was there. What else could we create together and share with others? Because we were excited about the Gene Keys.
But you saw something bigger than that. Rather than you and I just sharing, you wanted to create our own company, our own brand.
Yeah. Yeah. It
What
just
was
felt
that
like,
for you?
well, I just kept feeling a big, expansive energy like, oh, there's way more to tap into. And whatever our energetics were, it was sort of like, I will just say, it felt more and more like a calling, like something was calling me into it, calling us into it. And this is, I guess, as it started to form, the language, the vision became Exquisite Being without even knowing what that meant. But I remember that day that we figured out the name.
Yeah, what do you remember about that day? I remember that too. What do you remember?
Where I don't where were we? It was
We were
just
driving in the car. I
we were in
remember
the
that.
car. Yeah. And I think we were like, what should we, if we did something or created this company, or what would we call it? And then we looked toward our hologenetic profiles through the gene key, and we both saw on our vocation sphere, which is about work, about our kind of life's work in form in the world. And mine was being, and yours was exquisiteness. Isn't it? Yeah, and we just clopped off the ness and became Exquisite Being. And I remember it was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Is that what you remembered? How did
Yeah,
you
slam
remember?
dunk. It slam dunk exactly like that. We were like two little girls, giddy.
Yeah. Oh my
Like we'd
God.
gone to the candy store. Look what we found. Look what we found.
Found an Exquisite Being. And also grounding that, like grounding a name or claiming a name of something starts to bring sort of that the esoteric energy into form. And so it was like Exquisite Being. And then the next layer was opening. It felt like it was like, oh, then the curiosity, what is Exquisite Being? But the naming of something is, to me, something so beautiful because it has a great amount of potential and intention inside of it.
And then we started on the journey. You're like, okay, we're going to build a website.
We're going to get a logo and a
Right.
website. And I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about how that came into being, because the thing that I want to share is that the way that we've worked together has been magical to me.
Mm.
We've really gone into the I don't know,
Mm.
or the void, or the formless, and listened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'd like to share how we came up with our logo, which is a queen bee sitting on the flower of life.
Yes. Yeah. The void. The void. So how I experienced that, it was kind of surprising when the bee started to be the messenger of this wisdom that is exquisite being. Um, and diving into that a little deeper, I mean, we were talking about this morning, sort of the unknown, the void, the place of mystery, and the place of also sustenance and creation, where everything is kind of sourced from, drawn from. Um, so that just the energy of that as I'm speaking to it, it's like the unknown, but we're so connected to it because it's home. It's the creative center of things. But we have to trust, and the listening is huge. It's all about listening. So the experience of listening in our process has been so beautiful. And I sense you've really been a guide for us in that, when to listen, when to pause. Um, so yeah, you want to say
I
more
remember,
about listening?
um, well, this is the thing I love about you and I love about us, is one is you honor when I say we need to listen to the energy.
Yeah.
You honor me in that.
Yeah. Mm.
Um, that I can feel the push energy or the hurry energy or the fear energy. And I know we're not listening from love.
Right.
And we really have slowed down. We really slowed down and we learned to listen.
Mhm.
And, you know, the queen bee came to me in a dream.
Right.
And I had no idea what she was. And I remember you were like, a bee? What are you talking about? Because I think you had an issue with a bee, right? As a child?
I Yeah. Well, I would call it a conversation with the bees. I was allergic to bees. When I was
Yeah.
a kid, I'd step on one in the grass. One time a bee stung me on, I think it was a wasp, or I think it was a bee, stung me on my head. My whole head blew up. I had to go to the hospital. It was like dramatic, traumatic energy. And then, should I tell this quick story about,
Yeah, please.
so as the bee was starting to form into our consciousness to be exquisite being, I remembered that I was living at maybe 10 years, no, maybe 15 years. Wow, 15 years ago now. I was living in this converted garage space. It was like a studio. And in the wall, there was a hive. And so every day and every night, every night I would fall asleep to the hum of the hive. And every day I'd be coming in and out of the house, and the bees would be just entering and exiting. They never hurt me or harmed me in any way. We just started to live together. But I was always like feeling the energy. So the day I moved out, I'd never gotten stung. There was never any, and I'd lived there for 2 years or so. The day I moved out, one of the bees stung me on my calf, and I didn't have any allergic reaction to it at all. And I thought, oh, they're saying goodbye. Or it was like a kiss feeling. And then after maybe a few months later, the owners of the place had a beekeeper come and get and collect the hive to move it. And they ended up giving me a jar of the honey from that hive. So it was really just sort of, so when this started to happen, I was like, okay, this is a part of the path. This is the bee is part of my own path here. So it really changed it for me. Anyways, that's that story.
I love that story. There's something about the initiation of a bee. We
Mm,
just learned that. Didn't we
yeah.
learn that when a bee they initiate you into something. When remember the book we're reading,
Yes, the shamanic way of,
Shamanic Way of Beekeeping.
yeah, the bee. Gosh, I wish I could say the author's name. It's over on my counter. Um, so anyways, yeah. So
Well, the power of it is that it's an initiation.
yeah, right.
So we're listening, and this whole company has been about us getting really quiet and listening
Yes.
and seeing what we hear. And one of the things that we've come up with is, what is our intention
Right.
of this company?
Right.
And what we've come up with is that our intention is to be a presence of love,
Yes.
for people to remember who they are,
Right.
that they're this love too.
Right. And that we are a part of, and we are a unified consciousness, really. And so if we take sort of the symbolism of the colony of bees and the queen, and how the queen is the central, the creative, unknown energy, and everything is sort of serving that, and also being fulfilled by it in the service to the collective. And the more that I know you and I are learning about how colonies work, it's fascinating, and how they communicate and how they know their job, quote unquote, in the hive. There's no blurred lines in that. They work cohesively as one, in service to the queen, and she is in service to them, to remind that the unknown and the creative mystery is always there to support, to hold.
And then we made this, so we launched this website, and we had it all up, and we were going to do one-on-one coaching or small group. And then we had this big insight that we wanted to bring this work, or we were being called to bring our work to companies or teams.
Right.
And we came up with Harmonic Culture.
Harmonic Corporate Culture, yeah, Harmonic Culture. Mm-hmm.
And what do you remember we saw about that?
I remember being really surprised because because I was like, corporate, to me, it was really, I was like, whoa, really a different energy than what, uh, the harmonic of what we're doing in that sense. So it felt like, first it felt like a contrast, but at the same time, it was like, there was such a feeling of being guided into this. It's like, there's not a way to say no to it almost. It was like, this is it. This is where we're being guided. And the power of listening to that has allowed these doors to open. It's like, this is okay, this is the guidance. We can say no. We have the power to choose that, but there's something about opening to that and moving into corporate culture, like you said, a presence of love in the not with the intention as much as, well, intention, but also with the knowing that we are bringing in universal love, which, as we say, is not personal. It's an energy of how we're going to have that cohesive, unified experience. So yes, it was surprising, because I was like, I haven't ever really been in a corporate situation, really. So
Hold on to your hats. Here we go.
yeah, let's see. But what I keep coming to is like, we're touching, like you shared early on, it's like we're just touching into humanity. We're touching into everybody's a person, we just show up as we are. So that's the beauty of just putting all of the structure aside and going in and being a presence in that way.
It's interesting is what you just said, come as you are human beings. I had done work with this team down in Los Angeles, and through our work, what I saw was that I just showed everybody that their humanity and how they work, but they're a human being and they have unique gifts. And that when they drop their personal thinking and just get curious about how other people they see things,
Mhm.
the team totally transformed.
Mm.
They went from being suspicious, guarded, to open, inclusive,
Mm.
and collaborative,
Mhm. Well, we
and feeling
go ahead.
love for each other,
Mm.
kindness and compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. Kindness and compassion. I love that. That's your exquisiteness, is being able to sort of see the larger field and bring in just the simplicity of it. You know, you can take all the pieces and parts and create this exquisite simplicity, and allow, you give space for others to really listen to their own heart, and make it safe and make it okay to. Like, how much time do corporate cultures have to just sit and listen to their heart, just for, even if it's just for a minute? But how much listening and knowing that we all have that heart to listen to together is really powerful, really powerful. And everybody I've said, we're doing harmonic corporate culture, everybody's like, oh my God, that's perfect. That's exactly where it's needed, the heart, the center point.
And why, when we landed on harmonic,
Yeah.
I watched you light up like a Christmas tree when that word came into being.
A Christmas tree?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the image I got at the
I
moment.
love it. I love it. The lights, all the lights.
Yeah, all the lights.
I like the blue lights on Christmas trees.
Okay, well, I like the white lights, so we'll have
Okay.
to figure,
Yeah,
we might have to have two
work
trees.
that out around Christmas. Yeah.
But what was it about that word? Because you had just went to the symphony and you saw something, like it just even got deeper for you.
It did. It got deeper. Well, I love the word harmonic because it's from the word harmony. And to me, if I'm just metaphorically speaking, it's like every part of the symphony has to be in tune together to make the sound of the song sound its most beautiful. And then at the start, before even the conductor comes out, the first violinist and the string section stands and plays, I'm pretty sure it's middle C, and the rest of the strings tuned to middle C. So everybody's in harmony together, and then the horn section does their thing. So everybody's in harmony together. So it takes the first violinist to kind of set that tone. And so I see in like a business or corporate team situation, there's going to be that person that's kind of guiding the boat, guiding the song. And I just love that feeling and knowing, or using that metaphor um, in the work that we're doing as far as harmonic and harmony, harmonizing a space. It's a frequency too. What frequency are we bringing in? What frequency do we want in this space?
And what I've seen from my point of view, what I would add to that is that companies can work and teams can work from a place of fear, or they can work from the love, which has a very different frequency.
Mm.
And again, we
Mhm.
talked a little bit about it earlier. It's universal love.
Yeah. Yes.
It's the energy that's making all of life, and we can tap into that and it flows through us.
Yes.
As opposed to fear, there's a constriction, there's a tension, there's a
Right.
tightness.
Yeah.
And the other thing about the harmonic is that I saw is that, we both see that everybody has a unique gift. That's what we loved about the Gene Keys, is it shows that everybody has something unique to bring.
Right.
Like there's only one of Molly Lynch. There will never be another Molly Lynch. There's only one of Anna Scott. I'm
Yeah.
it.
That's it.
This makeup, and I have my own unique way of seeing things and doing things. And life is so much richer when everybody comes to plate, the table,
Mm-hmm.
and shares what's unique to them.
Mm-hmm. And again, it really, like, as we're talking about this, that listening, it's like we have to really listen to our instrument to
Mhm.
know if it's lined, and to listen. It's like, what is it? What is my unique tone? What is my uniqueness? What is my genius? So it is listening deeper and deeper into the heart. And there is, it's not, it's if we overcomplicate it, it's hard, more difficult to hear. But it's like we come in, you and I think come in, we just there's an invitation there. There's an invitation to listen to that part,
Mhm.
that piece of
Mhm.
ourselves. Yeah.
I just, when you, one of the big things that we really want to share with people is the power of listening.
Yeah. Keep coming back.
And not filling the space so fast.
Yeah. And it's, we think of listening with the ears, I think we associate, obviously, but this is almost like just listening with our entire being. And then into the place of the unknown and the mystery. And the more we just sit within that space, and that takes a moment just to calm and quiet, right? We have to
I'm
sit
like,
in quietness.
you just blew my mind. And
Cool.
you just said something, you do these beautiful things where you have drive-bys, you do like these beautiful drive-bys. And I just felt it.
Mm,
It's learning how to tune ourselves and listen to the mystery
yes.
and what we're listening to.
Yes.
It's how to listen to the void,
Yeah.
not to the noise, not to what's already been formed, but to listen to before that.
Yeah. When we were in meditation this morning before we started our meeting, the thing I was writing after we came out of meditation was, we're getting familiar with the frequency of the heart, and that, resonance. Um, yeah, and we all have that.
Mhm.
We have that available to us to listen to.
And we're also, we also talked about before we started recording, is that we've developed our capacity to be with our reactions or the frequency that's not of the heart, but not act out of it,
Right.
our humanity.
Yeah, say more about that. You articulated it, about the taking personal through reaction.
So, so somebody says something to me or they write an email and my mind has an automatic thought and then I feel it in my body and I make it mean something
Yeah.
about myself personally. They said this, it means this. And what we're sharing with people is the capacity to become aware of that and notice it and be present with it and then center with it just as it is, not try to change it, not make it wrong or right.
Right.
Just be with the humanity and then come back to center, which is this place of strength. It's an grounded, present, open heart and clarity. And when we do that, we begin to see the innocence of things.
Right. Right. Yeah.
The simple misunderstandings.
Yeah. It's that pause, so much less, chaos or conflict or turbulence would happen if we just took more time to pause.
Yeah.
And it's like slowing down. I find the slowing down is essential. So yeah.
Well, Molly, I think we've done this recording. I think we've done it well.
Yeah. Thanks, Anna. It's a great conversation. I'm glad to be sharing Exquisite Being in the world some more. The hive, the colony.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad to be on this journey with you.
Likewise.
It's such an honor. And that's one of the things about the exquisite being is how we treat each other
Yeah.
and the respect and dignity that we share in the creation of this and
Yes.
honoring of each other. So I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. It's cutting edge.
And it's a
Listening.
lot of fun.
It is really a lot of fun. That's the goal. Let's have
Yeah.
fun. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Anna.
Thank you.
Okay.